Apollo 96. I've seen people kind of half-jokingly complain that it shouldn't be the universal century. If we make it past 100, the calendar should have rotated again.
Right.
But more to my point. Because of the Legend of the Gundam and what it means, there was a moment where her Zanskar soldiers, upon seeing the Victory Gundam, have fucking mental breakdowns, screaming how the symbol of rebellion, the Gundam, should not be working against them but for them. After all, they're the ones rebelling from the corrupt Earth Federation. So the symbol of rebellion should be working for the rebelling faction, right?
Honestly, you would think with the Legend of the Gundam, right? You would think that in future wars like that far out, you would think that the second you see a Gundam on the enemy side, you would think they would stop and think, wait, are we the bad guys?
Are we the bad guys?
Yeah.
And from that moment on, through every episode I've seen up to roughly episode 16, whenever the Victory has shown up on the battlefield, Zanskar keeps calling it a fake Gundam.
Of course.
Because they cannot fathom that the Gundam would be working against them. Because the League military is in turn rebelling against Zanskar.
Wait, is that Gundam? Are we the bad guys? No, it's a fake Gundam. Why would the fake Gundam work? Why would the fake Gundam be on the side of the bad guys? We're the good guys. Cut to the guillotine.
And since Taro is not here because, to listen to it, I will tell you what they did. Exile in Zanskar means you were given a spacesuit, not a mobile suit, not a ship, a spacesuit, and a container with a few days' worth of food and water. And you are launched out the airlock.
Oh! Oh!
That is Zanskar's flavor of exile. You see what I mean when I say the guillotine starts to look merciful by comparison?
Yeah! Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome back to the stream. Vegas Bear here as always with Mekumon.
Yeah, Victory Gundam's brutal.
And, yeah, today's Friday, Taro's not here, so we're playing Robocop!
And this time, I actually got enough sleep to make it through the entire stream.
I also got a good amount of sleep. Whether or not it will save my mental state, I don't know.
At this point, the only breaks I'll be needing will be the occasional bathroom break, but hey, what is that different from any normal stream?
Alright, so if I remember correctly, we just arrested the star.
The sunblock guy, yeah. I remember seeing
that's
bits and
a
pieces
wrap.
of that when I was able to check in after my nap the last time. The hilarious thing is, the reason I couldn't jump into the voice chat was because my family was prepping to leave for errands at that time anyway. So they were dragging me along. Well, like, I wanted to go, and so they had to wake me up anyway. but still. The hilarious part is I'm still waiting for the consequences of that day to catch up to me, because that was the day I ordered the Real Grade God Gundam. Where's the screen share?
Oh, fuck.
You're lucky I have YouTube up, otherwise I'd have no idea what you're doing.
There we go.
That's better. Now, on topic. It's hilarious, but when I first started playing this game and I was in this part of the opening act, I had told Bear, for the audience listening, that I found it oddly therapeutic just walking around this part of the city at night with the aftermath of rain going on and just listening to Robocop's footsteps on the ground.
It is oddly therapeutic.
Even for all the stuff you're doing at night, like I could practically smell the rain on the asphalt.
Oh, I love that smell.
You see that guy down there? He's an asshole.
Even though you probably don't want to breathe that in too much in the Robocop universe, because no ozone layer, all the rampant pollution, you probably don't know what the hell's in the water.
Yeah.
At least it ain't raining.
I'm just kind of half surprised that without the ozone layer, things aren't just spontaneously combusting.
Hey, I'll learn less if you hang around here.
I mean, they must have something going on, right?
Considering Robocop was made before we fully understood what a depleted ozone layer would mean, I presume? I will say, though, it would be interesting to have a Sentai universe, like a Sentai series set in this universe, rather.
Screw Sentai. Like, this universe deserves a Metal Hero series.
Mm-hmm.
Did I ever tell
Like
you?
something Toku.
Did I ever tell you about Metal Hero?
I know that we got Big Bad Beetleborgs out of it.
Okay. Because, like, Metal Hero was different from Sentai and Kamen Rider because it wasn't so different in the sense of, like, it wasn't different in the sense of the product in as so much the way it was presented, because the suits actually had metal on them. They looked beefier. They moved a little clunkier. They were different.
And you know what I'd be doing if we did a D&D with a Metal Hero D&D set in this universe,
What?
I'd still be shouting Beetle Blast every time I changed. You see, it all happened one day when I went into a haunted house and was given 3 wishes by a strange blue vampire.
Was he a vampire?
He was a vampire.
I thought he was a genie.
Yeah, I thought so too at first, but no, apparently he's a vampire.
So that means there's 2 vampires in Hill House.
Why not ask her for help? I'd rather ask the devil. My God is cold.
The fuck?
At least I think I'd have to double check. He might have just legit been a genie. I mean, considering the time, of course they'd make him blue, Aladdin and all. You know, I gotta check this now.
Shh, pigs. Mind your own business, cop.
And of course, the Metal Heroes Wiki has a page for Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Of course.
Okay. Work with me here. I didn't say to highlight the text. I said to scroll down. I hate when that happens. Okay, he's not even a genie. He's a phantasm.
Huh.
So he's a ghost. But then if he's not a genie, how did he grant him 3 wishes?
At this point, I've stopped.
Was it even 3?
I don't think it was even 3. I think it was just like what, like.
Well,
He used his magic.
1 wish at least.
Yeah, he used his magic to grant like 1 wish for freeing him from the. What was it? The grand piano? No, the organ.
The pipe organ. It was a pipe organ. Either way, yeah, that's the explanation I'd be going with.
Public? But this is my private
Whether I'd be allowed
sofa.
to use Felix
I
in this
drag it
role or
all
create a
the
new
way
character
from the
is
junkyard.
up to what I'd be allowed to do, but still.
Should I give this guy a ticket or just issue a warning? Because yes, he's drinking in public, but he's far enough away in a small, secluded spot that I don't think it really matters.
Let's issue him a warning. There's another guy doing the same thing closer to the public that we can issue the ticket to later.
Got it.
I will let you go this time, but remember that drinking in an unsuitable environment can lead to severe consequences.
Well, that's the whole point.
Alright, let's see here. Metal Hero shows. Space Sheriff Gavon, Sherivan, and Scheider. A trilogy of space sheriffs. We had Mega Beast Investigator Juspion, Ziku Sensei Spielbahn, Shojinki Metalder, which Spielbahn and Metalder both were used for VR troopers.
Oh, that's another one I could do instead. We are VR!
Also, Sekai Ninjatsen Jiraiya. World Ninja War Jiraiya. I remember this one because this guy showed up in Super Sentai. In Ninja, I believe. He also ended up appearing in Ninja Steel as a space sheriff. Let's see. The Mobile Cop Giban, which was basically just Robocop. Special Rescue Police Winspector, Super Rescue Soulbrain, Special Rescue Exceed Draft, Tokuso Robo Jan Person. Oh, apparently he made a cameo in Big Bad Beetleborgs. Blue SWAT, which was like a police thing. Juko Beef Fighter, which we know as Big Bad Beetleborgs. Beetle Fighter Kabuto. Actually, wait. Yeah, it's Juko Beef Fighter and Beef Fighter Kabuto. I don't know why they have it listed as Beetle. Even though that's probably what I know that's what the B stands for. Anyway, moving on. Beef Fighter Kabuto was used for Beetleborgs Metallics. Beetle Robot Kabutak. And Tetsuon Tante Robotak. Those are those are the last two before Metal Hero just kind of ended.
I completely forgot the Astral Borgs were a thing.
Yes, in Beef Fighter Kabuto, they were actually.
Oh really, man?
They were other agents.
I love you.
You got Dragonborg,
Oh man, you're the best.
Fireborg, Lightning Borg, and Lady Borg.
All of whom were like the Beef Fighters. They were just stationed in different places. In fact, Dragonborg, which I think they gave him a different name. I don't remember what it was though. He was an American agent played by none other than Dante's voice actor.
Stop shaking in your boots. Look, Robocop is here. We're safe.
Those people on the first floor are paranoid. They put blinds in the windows. Can't watch the TV no more.
So,
And now here comes the funny part. I will be mentioning this for several of the costumes, but here we go. Lady Borg's costume was later used in the Power Rangers anniversary episode Forever Red for the Machine Empire General Tesla. And those very same generals that were using the Beetleborgs costumes were all voiced by previous Ranger/Monster actors. From various previous Ranger series at that. Lightning Borg's body was recycled along with the head of Fireborg to create Automon, an evil Machine Empire general in Forever Red.
okay, before I do that, I have brought up a guide for Serve and Protect. Aha!
I know, I needed that same... Like, I needed a guide for that same puddle, too.
One that likes swimming in oil surely must be swimming in money.
Also, among other trivia, Lady Borg was apparently the only Astral Borg to not cough up a new weapon when she showed up.
Oh, crap! Give me back my money, you piece
All the
of
other ones
shit!
gave her protagonist
Don't
trio
you
new
cops
weapons
ever get
except for
bored
her.
of harassing successful entrepreneurs?
Hey! This shit is rigged!
That's a serious accusation, kiddo. Someone might think
Wait,
I would
aren't you gonna give
allow
us a
such
new
illegal
weapon? I
activity
am the weapon.
in my
What?
high-class business, which I do not. I get lost.
Dragonborg.
You work for Soot. Tell me where
His
to
costume
find
looks
him.
neat, not gonna lie.
You cops are giving me
yeah.
a stomach ulcer.
The guy that
Stop
voiced him
asking
was
me
doing
about
a weird
guys I
Sean
don't
Connery
know.
voice, though.
Withholding information can lead to bigger trouble than a stomach ulcer.
Look, I'm a busy man, so I'm going back to my office now.
Hell, you... Right on the money, it mentions
Join
this.
me there. We'll talk.
Dragonborg's voice and speech mannerisms are reminiscent of Scottish actor Sean Connery, 1930 through 2020, famous for being the first actor to portray fictional spy James Bond in film.
What a douchebag.
Dragonborg's costume, minus the wing ornament on his forehead, and carrying the blue Stinger Beetleborg's mega weapon, was used for a Machine Empire general named Steelon in Forever Red.
Have you witnessed the owner participating in any criminal activity?
Are you kidding me? Half the things I've seen around here would be enough to put him behind bars for a decade.
Let us hear your statement.
No way, dude. He might be a douchebag, but if you lock him up, this place will get closed down, and where am I supposed to play hooky then?
Think of your future.
School may seem now like a difficult option, but it will pay off in the future.
Future? Look on the street. You must have a microwave for a brain if you think that.
Holy crap. Various monsters from both Beetleborg seasons were reused along with unused Beetle Fighter Kabuto monsters as enemy monsters from Power Rangers all the way up to SPD.
Wait, really?
In Power Rangers in Space, Triposaurus Rex and Stegodrag were seen at the Onyx Tavern in Flashes of Darkonda. Aqualungs, Changeling, Emily the Seed of Evil, Hagfish of Gar, Spider-Drag, Stegodrag, Torchmouth, Triposaurus Rex, and Ultra Vulture were each seen with each army in Countdown to Destruction. Unused B-Fighter monsters, Animalala, Caparappa, Meltzura, and Pineappler were also used there.
Fucking Pineappler?
Pineappler. Like pineapple with an R stapled to the end.
That's fucking stupid. I love it.
In Lost Galaxy, a Stegodrag, Mole Monster, and Ultra Vulture were seen at the Onyx Tavern. In Lightspeed Rescue, Emily the Seed of Evil, Hagfish of Gar, and Torchmouth were seen in the Shadow World in The Fate of Lightspeed Part 2.
Such amazing color.
Unused B-Fighter monster Melzura also appeared.
From now on, I promise. I will
And in Power Rangers SPD, El Scorpio was
Your body
reused in the
readings
series
suggest
episode
substance
SWAT
misuse.
Part 1 as the Scorpion monster that was a holographic monster Sergeant Silverback used as a way to train the Rangers to use SWAT mode.
Definitely getting more of this stuff.
Who sold you drugs?
I really shouldn't say, but you are my TV.
Some of the monster costumes from Beetleborgs also appeared in the Mystic Knights of Tiernanog, albeit repainted.
We'll sell it to you, as long as you got cash. Unfortunately, I'm
Among these costumes are Scorpix, Shalator, Emily the Seed of
You
Evil,
could help me sneak
Fangula
into
the Bat
basement?
Monster,
They keep a huge
Fernzilla,
stash
and
of
2
goodies
monsters
down
from
there.
Beat Fighter Kabuto
Drugs
that
in
were
the basement?
unused in the States.
I will take
The
care
Ant Monster
of that.
Benaria, and the Porcupine Stingray Monster
Way
Porcuray.
to go, TJ!
The costumes for Shelator, Fangula, Bat Monster, and Beat Fighter Monsters Benaria and Porcuray were used to portray the specters of Banshee Woods in episode 24.
Alright, I have a warrant now.
Open the door. I have the warrant.
Oopsie, I think I dropped my key somewhere. You'd have to break down this hardened door if you want to
You
get
obviously do not know who
That
I
will
am.
not be a problem.
Which I don't know how that's possible at this state in the canon, so... I just love seeing how Beetleborgs has effectively stretched into every aspect of Toku here.
Surrender your weapons.
Well, classic 90s Toku slot do anyway. So, fun fact, when I got to this part of the mission, I thought I'd get some kind of trophy or achievement for destroying all of the arcade cabinets under, like, downstairs. That did not happen. I was half expecting, like, a stay in school kind of joke for destroying all of the arcade cabinets.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
If I go back and try it again, I'll also see about... it wouldn't let me attack the... oh, maybe. Maybe if I also got rid of the ones upstairs, but... didn't do anything for the downstairs ones. And now I see you're just doing it for fun.
Yep. I mean, this guy sells drugs.
Yeah, but I don't think the guy who will eventually buy up the arcade after this is gonna be too happy.
Yeah, that's true.
Watch out, she's coming!
Then again, that's also not your problem. Or is it, considering serving the public trust?
As someone who loves arcades and wishes there were more of them, I should probably ease up on shooting inventory down here.
Video games themselves are innocent. It's the poison peddlers that are evil.
Nukem. I remember the commercial for this in Robocop 1.
I imagine it's some kind of battleship knockoff.
Basically. It's instead of like battleships, you run a country and like it's like I guess 2 to 4 players. You basically have to navigate a Cold War that may also that might erupt into a nuclear war.
A little on the nose, but hey. It's not like Fallout's any less guilty of this. The Blast Radius board game is literally just a board game explaining the evacuation to vaults. the idea is to get enough pieces around the board and secure. So there's a limited number of preservation shelters, and the idea for each player is to get as many of your
Open
family
the
members
door,
into one of
or
these
you
shelters as
will
possible.
regret it.
Can't a guy just sell drugs to kids without you harassing him every
It reminds me of another board
Who am I
game
hurting,
with a
huh?
similar
They
kind of
all
thing
want it.
going on. I'm trying to remember
Where
the
do I
name.
find soot?
Well, if that's the case, shut it, bozo. Unless you want to end up
Trouble
in the
or
house
something?
Like a cop's informant. And don't you dare open that door. I'll shoot you.
The idea is you would be taking your pieces
One of you.
off of your home space, circle the board once, and then get each piece back into its home space before you're caught.
You. I always suspected you never went through initiation. Take that back. Or what?
You hot-headed bastards!
For fuck's sake.
It was
don't
either
shoot.
trouble or
I'm gonna
sorry
open the
that it was
door.
called. Oh, maybe it was something else entirely.
No, it
Tell
was
me,
one of those.
Where can I find soot?
Straight to business, huh?
At
Looks
least
like
you know what
might
board
get
game
to
I'm
die.
talking about.
But
Yeah.
even if I wanted to help you, I can't. Only his closest people know his whereabouts. I just distribute his stuff, and to be completely honest, I don't want or need to know more than when the next shipment is coming.
You must know the location they mentioned. Tell me where they took the police informant.
And if I tell you, what's in it for me?
Interrogation sequence initiated.
You can't do it! I'm a respectable citizen, and I have complex health conditions! Okay, fine, I'll talk! They've taken him to the ghost house. It's what they call one of their sites. From what I've gathered, it's that big, burned-down building, a bit down the road. Anyway, that's all I know.
That will have to suffice. For now.
Ah, there's the button. All right.
Stay here. Dispatch. Requesting a squad car.
OCP training disc. We get
So-
another level up.
Yeah. Hey. So, here's a thought I had. If I were to design, and this is something you can try doing too, if I were to design a Transformers multi-pack with the idea of being a faction builder of sorts, here's what I'd do. Because for a while, Hasbro did try doing these troop builder multi-packs that would have, generic bots from multiple factions put together.
Right.
It's how we got our most recent figure of the Auto Trooper, which I'm seriously hoping can eventually become the Autobot equivalent of a Seeker. Where you may have a few notable bots that are associated with the faction, and then just a bunch of generics. But in this particular case, the faction I'm building is Quintesson. The pack would consist of 2 Sharkticons, a Bailiff, and a Quintesson. the bailiff could be swapped out for an Alicon, by the way. As in the hierarchy of troops I'm imagining in my head, Alicons are higher on the totem pole than Sharkticons. Because they're just that tiny bit smarter. As we would see in the movie, almost all of them were capable of speaking and understanding when spoken to. In Season 3, it's rare to see any more than one Sharkticon speak at a time. Hell, it's rare in and of itself to see a Sharkticon speak. It does happen, but not often.
Time to find the ghost house.
You're welcome to give this a try, too. A troop builder multi-pack. A maximum of 4 figures.
Okay. Honestly, I would probably have, like...
You need to be taught some manners.
Different auto-troopers.
Makes sense. The Autobots need some grunts, too. The fact that the Decepticons have such a huge number of unnamed Lukes, whereas basically every Autobot is named, kind of leads to an unbalanced power dynamic here. Where Decepticons could lose troops by the dozen in an episode, be they Viacon or per Speaker or whatever else. But the Autobots, because they're named, you have to make sure it hurts when we lose one. If we had, like, generic auto troopers and generic Datsuns and so on, then we could lose Autobots in similar numbers to the way Viacons are cut down in crime and actually establish that, yes, Decepticons are in fact as deadly as they're supposed to be billed. It's one of a handful of things I'll give the Netflix trilogy. They recolored Cog and a bunch of other bots so many times into generics, specifically to convey how deadly these Decepticons are supposed to be.
That's another thing. I probably like use recolors. Like make generic police bots and Ironhides. Maybe even generic bumblebees.
If you were going to go with the animated universe, that would actually really fit. Because Bumblebee's body type in animated is a very commercially widely used body type for its energy efficiency.
Like generic bumblebees. Generic police bots would be like, I guess, like standard fare, like standard troops.
I can see that.
And the generic Ironhides would be heavy troops.
Heck, retool a new head, slap it onto an Optimus Prime body, and say that these are escort troops. Heavily armed escort convoys.
I see what you did there.
You could sell them without the trailer that way.
Yeah.
And this way, you get your money's worth out of any given Optimus Prime mold without having to immediately turn it into an Ultra Magnus. Or a Nemesis Prime, or a Shattered Glass Optimus. You can make more bots. Now here's one I don't think anybody saw coming, unless you totally did. A troop builder set of Blitzwings.
Blitzwings?
But specifically, we changed the color scheme so it doesn't look like Blitzwing. Because, believe it or not, there is a mass-produced Blitzwing-style body that was used in the employ of the Quintessons back in the day.
Really?
It's implied that Blitzwing had been one of these troops to eventually develop an individual personality.
That's interesting.
And the reason that they exist at all is to basically make a joke out of an animation choice in the Season 3 intro. Because in the Season 3 intro, right where we would have gotten the Transformers, there's a lineup of multiple Blitzwings in tank form. The figure of this mass-produced Blitzwing already exists. In fact, we just got one for Legacy.
Oh?
It was primarily like shades of green. And these guys, whose names I'm forgetting at the moment, are basically mass-produced security forces in the Quintessons employ before they moved on to using Sharkticons.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yes,
It was in the troop.
Go ahead.
Right?
I believe so. But like, imagine a pack of 4 of him in different colors, naturally. Or like 2 of him and 2 lower ranking bots. Or hell, even 1 of him as like a commander unit to 3 lower ranking bots. Or even funnier, a pair of triple takeover multi-packs. Those who know triple takeover know what I'm about to suggest. So we have 2 of these packs that include 1 named Decepticon each. A standard, like, I would say a standard, air quotes, release of Blitzwing or Astro Train. Albeit slightly better than their, standalone releases. Maybe alternate toy-accurate parts as opposed to show accurate. And then you'd have recolors of them that are meant to replicate the forces they had under their employ while they struck out in their attempts to become the new leader of the Decepticons. This especially works for Astro Train, because he actually did capture a bunch of trains, put simple computer brains in them, and turn them into his troops. It didn't work out for him well, but now you get to create this alternate version of things where he put T-Cogs in them too.
Where I can find soot.
Hey, it's everyone's favorite.
Questions, but could you untie me first?
What are pickles?
They really outdid themselves with these knots.
talk.
Well, ain't he cool as a
I
cucumber?
don't know how you usually
Are they
operate,
vegetables?
but that type of information
I think so.
don't come free.
Hey, look, it's everyone's favorite vegetable.
What is your freedom worth to you?
That's actually a great point. So,
I would say everybody's favorite hamburger topping, but
on the TV station,
first off, toppings go on top of things, not inside the sandwich, and secondly,
meeting is supposed to take place tonight during.
not everybody likes pickles.
I don't
Answered.
like pickles.
I know.
Which is weird
I'm not
because
really
for
a fan of
okay,
his music myself, but that's
For a
not
Chick-fil-A
what those shows are
sandwich.
really about. Why don't we?
I don't like pickles.
Get out of here.
and when they add pickles to the sandwich, when I clearly said no pickles,
Lewis.
I get
Such
a little
as meeting
miffed.
the new guy
But
tonight at the old
I took
slaughterhouse.
pickles out, right?
Copy that. Pick me up at the station.
But the,
I'll grab
the
my
juice
gear.
is still there.
By the way,
And
I've got
somehow
something for
the
you, Murphy.
juice
They call me
enhances the
Pickles.
flavor of the chicken.
And you guessed it. There's a funny story behind that name. This one time, I saw torch.
Like, I
heads
feel
stealing
like I'm
a
Weird.
fire truck.
I feel like I'm talking crazy talk here.
I mean, not necessarily. It makes a strange degree of sense.
Groceries. So they left it.
You want the brine they were soaking in, not the actual pickles.
Still have
Yeah.
a couple of jars laying around if you want them.
So you are an opportunist.
Hey, I prefer street art.
Which, more often than not, is just vinegar.
You know what they say.
Eh.
Business is where you
Thing is, I hate vinegar.
Never ever say that to Muriel Bag. You'll break her heart.
Oh.
And knowing what happened to her voice actress a few years ago, I made myself sad.
Well, I have found out that because of the new cable box my family
Thanks,
has
Tin Man.
downstairs,
Hey,
Uh-huh.
did Briggs tip you
I can
off that I might be here?
access
Officer Briggs?
Yeah,
Tubi,
he's my police go-to guy.
Pluto TV,
Officer Briggs.
as well
is
as Netflix,
missing.
Disney Plus,
Missing?
and Amazon
Shit.
Prime.
May our
Video.
city have mercy on him.
Okay.
Meaning, if I want to, I can watch anything that's on Tubi down in the living room.
Nice.
Which also means I have I have more opportunity to show my parents stuff that I like.
How do you know?
I mean, there's always that.
We go back a long
The biggest obstacle
Gave me
is
help
my
and
stepdad,
when I
who
hit rock bottom.
won,
and I've been his dead ever since.
well, actually stepdad and
He even
my
introduced
brother,
me to his family.
because they like to
Great kid and
monopolize
wife.
the TV.
His missus don't seem very fond of me.
There's always at least one in every household.
Despite the fact that they both have TVs in their rooms. And my stepdad just has this thing about animation. He doesn't take it seriously. Even though he loves Looney Tunes. Then again, that might be why, because like he sees cartoons and he thinks, oh, Looney Tunes.
Which is funny because Looney Tunes was never for kids in the first place.
I mean, he never says it's for kids.
I mean,
he
that is generally the mindset most people
You
tend to
seem
have,
proficient
spoken or otherwise,
in
when it comes to
undertaking
animation.
police tasks.
that's not his
Ever thought of
mindset.
making
It's
a
just
living
he
out of
likes
it?
Looney Tunes.
Oh no.
He likes
One
Tom
thing
and
you
Jerry.
should know about me. I love
But I think
cops,
because of
law
that,
enforcement, laws,
his
all of that.
perception of
I think those are great
cartoons
ideas. But so
is
is
that
Nuke.
they're
And
not
when I need it, I
serious.
tend to forget about the other stuff. So, you know what they say. You can only serve one master.
Because I showed him the live action One Piece and he loved it.
Do you think?
Oh, I
Briggs
can't
is
wait
in
to
trouble?
hear how he reacted to knowing that it's basically what happened in the
To
animation.
check a case of missing bodies.
Oh,
Sounded like
when I
bogus
told him it
leads,
was
so I
mostly
didn't
one
press
for
him.
one,
Funny enough,
he was surprised.
he always tells me to be careful getting info. But truth is, I'm not the one running around the gangsters.
He still won't watch the anime, which I mean, like, I'm not gonna blame him for that. It is still One Piece.
Uh-huh.
Need to go.
But
Duty
if
awaits.
About
if
that,
I
I've got a
maybe
favor to ask.
I might be able to convince him to watch Castlevania.
I've got something that belongs to him. He must have misplaced it the last time he visited my crib.
I look forward to the
It's kinda
day
whammy.
you could actually convince him to watch Beast Wars with you.
It's his wristwatch.
Oh.
I feel bad holding on to it. Could you please give it back to his
I don't know if
This is
that'll ever,
stolen
like, he
property,
might watch
and
like an
you
episode or
expect
two,
me to return
but he
it?
will probably be on his phone for most of
That
it.
sounds bad when you say it like that, but still, you shouldn't let
I
me
love the
hold
big
on to
lug,
expensive
but
things. That's how I ended up in this
If
situation in
his
the first
focus
place.
isn't on it, his focus.
I will
isn't
make
on
sure
it.
they receive it from the repentant thief.
Oh boy, you're a tough negotiator. But surely you don't mean now. I gotta chillax.
I would pick a very specific episode to show him first, but problem is,
We will
that
proceed.
episode does not work in a vacuum.
For God's sakes, man. As you command, Officer Steele.
I mean, it does, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Code of Hero
Tin Man,
needs
over
the
here.
character development
This is
that Dinobot has gotten over the course of the
Let's
show
get
to
this over
truly hit you as hard as it wants to.
Apartment 21.
Which means my next choice after that would be either Bad Spark,
Are you going into
for the
recovery
fact that we
withdrawal?
have
Will you
essentially
require medical
a
assistance?
Transformers equivalent of a slasher movie playing,
Complicated relationship. Good at reading people.
or
I'm the type of person that
to continue with the theme of Rampage being
I know that
involved,
inevitably I'll do something she doesn't approve.
Transmutate.
Like steal a watch.
Ooh.
Like steal a watch. This is it.
That might work if I explain that transmutate
First.
is. Well, I don't know about the episode itself, but later incarnations of transmutate are written to be autistic. Or, a Transformer equivalent.
Robocop,
Yeah.
are you here about Mike?
Yes, I am sorry to hear about your husband.
Oh, no,
Gail.
no, no, no. This junkie is not coming inside. What else are you gonna steal?
Funny you should say that.
Gail gives no shits.
I can't stand him. I'm sure he has something to do with Mike
So
being
here's a
missing.
fun fact about Transmutate in the episode where they first appeared.
Are you
I say they
any
because
closer
they
to
do
finding
not
a
use
husband?
male or female pronouns in the episode. So,
Is there anything more that you can tell me about
Hopefully
his
my stepdad
disappearance?
won't notice, because
I've already reported what I know, but if you have any more questions, shoot.
then again, they mostly keep referring to Transmutate in flavors of it. So,
I heard that he was looking into reports of bodies going missing.
An old lady approached him at the precinct.
Anyways.
And told him a sob story about how she couldn't afford to bury her husband. Can you believe that?
in the episode,
Anyway, when she finally
Rat Trap makes the
collected enough
comment,
money and went back
"What in the
to
name of my
England,
Grand Aunt Arcee is going on here?"
Lost her husband's body.
And while that is a
Mike
cute
went
nod to a
check it out
G1
and never
character,
came back.
it takes on a whole new meaning when you realize who
Where
voices
was
Transmutate in the
last
episode.
location that he was seen?
RC.
I remember him telling me
Susan
he's
Blue,
leaving his
who
jurisdiction.
is both the voice actress for the original Generation 1 and later Transformers
Tried to keep
animated
him
RC,
good. It seemed dangerous, but he felt sorry for that old lady.
and also the voice
He
director
went
for
against
Beast
his own
Wars.
rules
Ah!
and me. He left angry because we'd been arguing.
Do you remember the exact location?
He never told me, but maybe it's in his files.
Why do you think that Pickles is involved in your husband's disappearance?
My husband's a good man. Sometimes too good for his own sake. He believes in second chances, even if someone doesn't deserve them.
Like Pickles.
And on that note,
unappreciative
it is because of the
asshole
Transformers animated
constantly
iteration of the
gets himself in
character
trouble.
and the way
He
Sue
was
Blue
always
talks
there
about
hanging
RC in
You
interviews
guessed it.
that,
Sort of the
in my own
old
story, I decided to
Pickles has
keep
a
the
bad
Tutorbot
influence on my
aspect.
husband.
Right.
Because
I think
of
I have
all the
everything
traits
ready
about
tomorrow.
RC that Susan
Knowing
Blue
you're all
has
it
gone
takes
on
makes me
to
a little
repeatedly
less anxious,
state she
Robocop.
enjoys,
Now I just need to break
it's
it
the
down
nurturing
to some-
aspect of her personality.
He does not know.
The mama bear, so to speak.
He's a smart kid, and I think he suspects
Yes,
something.
she will absolutely rip you to shreds if
maybe
you
tell him to come
threaten
home?
someone she's
It's
close
getting
to.
late, and the streets aren't safe these days.
But she's
Low
also
dollars, but
kind of
probably
gentle
won't tell him,
enough
should
to,
light a
you know,
fire in his
enjoy being
I
around
will
and
make sure
nurturing
that he
younger life
returns
forms.
home, madam.
Thank you.
So
He's
being a
playing on the
teacher made
basketball
all of the
court
sense in the
nearby
world.
with his friends.
Detroit against addiction
And-
program. Oh, this is for Pickles. Mike set this up for him. Sorry, you were saying?
My brain kind of stopped for a moment there.
Susan Blue. Tudor
Oh, yeah.
Mama Bear.
Right, I remember where I was going now. The Beast
That went
Machines
very
comic.
much as expected.
We are not done.
We're not.
You still have that.
Specifically, the ones entailing the
There is someone
Adventures
who
of the
needs to learn
Wreckers.
What time it is?
Is that a movie quote or something? I'm pretty sure I heard that.
So in this weird pseudo-amalgam G1 universe that blended both cartoon and comics that birthed the Beast Wars timeline. Thank you, Wheeljack. Dr. Arkeville would eventually attempt to take control of Cybertron again,
We must.
and in
to the
doing
basketball
so,
court.
utilizing
That's just
a
around the corner. Are we playing?
a little relic that the Autobots had kept locked away for quite some time that he managed to get a hold of.
We are going
mass
to
produce.
remind Gale's son that it is past. Good evening, citizens. I
A
know
relic from
Hey, what?
before Daniel's
Spare
time
parts?
by the name of
Hey, there's a
Nightbird.
mechanic.
Daniel, an adult
we
by
all
this
have to obey
point,
the rules of the games we
had
play.
been assisting in the defense of
Unsportsmanlike
Cybertron
conduct makes all players
from these robot ninja.
That's right, fool. That was a technical foul. I didn't
He
know
and
he's so
Wheelie would
delicate.
ultimately give their
do you
lives
need?
detonating a bomb
for
that
a
they had
kid.
led a
His
squad
name's
of
Danny.
Nightbirds to,
He was playing here
blowing
earlier.
up a large number of them.
Is it past his bedtime?
It is.
Yeah, I saw a couple of kids
See if
drawing
Wiki
with chalk
half
they found
jokes
lying
about
around the
this
crime
moment,
scene over there.
making Daniel badass versus destroying reality as we know it.
Congrats, guys. You just became police informants. It has its perks. You'll love it. I see a couple of...
It also occurs to me that they tried to make him look like he came from the Terminator future with the outfit choices they gave him.
This was drawn not long ago.
Ah, there's more over there. Man, we really jaywalking. That's awesome.
It did a number on RC and her mental health to lose
I guess we're
to lose Daniel that way.
Station.
Because in this timeline, he was her headmaster partner for a while.
Oh, man.
Daniel! Come on!
She would, after this, retreat underneath the surface of Cybertron and just kind of stay there in seclusion.
Shoe print, size 7.
That's gotta be
as
his.
she would repeatedly receive visions of comrades and loved ones dying in ways she could not prevent.
So I guess you have like a scanning thing in your eyes.
Yes, it allows me to see
A
things
broken
that are
bot,
not there.
RC only eventually resurfaced
So it's kind of like me.
after a certain
Throughout the trial,
purple-faced yes machine took over the planet.
What the fuck?
That was close.
We better hurry.
Having scanned the form of a spider, she would be recruited into a new batch of wreckers.
Come on, end him.
Among their number
Waiting for. Fuck him up.
is Hot Rod.
Huh.
Hey, what the hell's going on over there?
He'd undergone the maximal process in a
Yeah.
sense. He was much...
It's the cops.
well, actually, I don't think he even did that. He was still much larger than RC.
You're in so much.
And I don't mean
trouble,
that
kid.
he was always taller than her in
Oh!
in some capacity thing. I mean, like, the wiki jokes
What the
that I
hell?
caught him like in a panel where he's going like, just like old times, huh?
You'd have a
It
whole
follows up with, except you're the size of my arm now.
Sorry, sir.
You will be once your dad hears about this.
My dad's missing, so he can't tell me nothing. My mom said that he's out on an assignment, but I know the truth. He's not coming back.
Why'd you say that?
He's always been a stickler for following the rules.
Well, I don't foresee this going any better for RC because she's about to lose another friend.
Oh god.
But that's not gonna happen to me. I'm going to be the one that shoots first.
Hot Rod would give his life to restabilize Vector Sigma at the core of Cybertron after another former Decepticon attempts to activate and effectively merge with it to become some kind of godly entity.
Easy way out. You don't want to go down that road. It leads to a dark, lonely place. Do you know why your dad is such a stickler for the rules?
'Cause he's a chump.
And during all this, I'm just wondering,
Thing to do.
where the hell are Megatron's Viacons to stop things from getting close to Vector Sigma?
Strength.
And you think my dad has that?
Where's
kind of
Tankor's troops
Are you kidding?
trying to defend the core of the supercomputer?
Both of us.
Hell, even if you say this is after her, you know, the season 1 finale, and we move into the second half of Beast Machines, you'd think Megatron would keep Vector Sigma on lockdown because of what happened in the season 1 finale.
To him because that's the right thing to do. That's strength. Don't you think there's someone else who could use that kind of support now?
Evidently not.
See, you already know what to do.
And we know this is happening concurrently with Beast Machines because
You can start.
Cheetor got to meet Rodimus.
She's looking.
Yo.
They were in the same room at the same
You
time
want
once.
to arrest me?
No, it's your first offense. So he'll let you off with a warning.
And we got a little explanation about them both being what is called Matrix Templars.
I love that.
Let's get you home.
Well, you told
RoboCop
me
just
Mom
giving a
about the
thumbs
gun?
up.
No, she doesn't like me already.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but like, I love that.
Thanks for the help, Tin Man.
So did I when I first saw it. It's a nice little bit of personality to inject into the machine. Remind us that he's still human in there.
Hey, partner. What's
You'd be surprised how often the audience needs that reminder
I have to take
sometimes.
care of something. We can go there soon.
Sure thing. Pick me up at the station when you're done.
It's not as often as some people would think, but it's just often enough. So, yeah, in this particular version of the continuity, Rodimus would die to save Cybertron, in much the same way Optimus Prime did in the Headmasters. The Japanese continuation that ignored the Rebirth three-parter.
Ah.
I end up laughing to myself because Japan recognized that Optimus was past his expiration date, so to speak, that reviving him was a mistake. And it took them all of 3 episodes after
This is where
subbing and bringing over the return of Optimus Prime
Can't really call it hiding.
to kill him off again.
Revelations to the whole city. I bet Rudy forgot about us.
At least I will not feel bad crashing his party.
Murphy, I was thinking about what happened to you at the TV station. Maybe
But,
you should...
yeah.
No
Alright,
need for
time
alarm.
to
Becker's
crash a
chip is keeping my
Torchnet
circuits
party.
in check.
You're more than just circuits, Murphy. Underneath all that metal, there's still you.
Keep on your toes, Lewis. You never know what kind of maniacs will come out of there.
And despite that burden, you carry on.
Especially ones with lighters.
You've done more for this city dead than anyone has alive. That has to count for something. I'm gonna shut up now. Just take this little something to remind you of what I've just said.
Makes me wonder how many of the
Open it the
original
next time
actors they
Becker
tried
gets
to
under
bring
your
back
skin.
to reprise their roles for the game. We know they got Murphy.
Also,
Yeah.
don't
And
forget
I want
you
to
have a
say they
partner
also
who's
got
counting on you.
Ann Lewis. In fact, I'm gonna look this up.
Concert in an old slaughterhouse? I suppose it fits those animals. Place looks deserted. Are you sure your junkie friend
Now,
mixed up the venues?
He is the type who
I will
likes to
just
mix
say,
things
in
up.
my own version of the
Should have to see.
timeline, I kind of chose to ignore this comic altogether. Just to have Hot Rod, aka Rodimus Pride, be a Maximal and currently active. Though, because this comic was made for a BotCon toy set, unsurprisingly, they did make a figure for RC. It was a recolor slash partial retool of Transmetal 2 Black Arachnia.
So, as it turns out, they did not get Nancy Allen back to reprise the role of Anne. Instead, they got a voice actress named Kosha Angler.
Well, she does a good job regardless.
Yeah, she sounds like Anne. I'm gonna take a look at the voice cast.
In the meantime, I will just say, if you're thinking of getting that BotCon toy, don't.
I never bother with BotCon toys because they're too fucking expensive.
Beyond that, there's a design flaw included with one of the features they put into that thing. A light-sensitive voice chip,
Yeah, boy.
which would have had the figure saying, "Don't underestimate me, I'm not just a pretty face. RC, maximize!" But because it was light-sensitive and prone to malfunction, there would be moments where it would just repeatedly play the voice clip on loop if you left it in just the right spot. The wiki mocks this relentlessly. And yes, maximize, because she never got the techno-organic upgrade that Primal's crew did. She was underground and basically unbothered during the whole virus takeover. another recolor introduced for this comic, but when it made it to mass retail, was a repaint of the, well, a redeco rather, of the Transmetal 2 Optimal Optimus figure. This one came in Optimus Prime Red and Blue. And honestly, in my opinion, looked a little better than the Beast Wars color scheme, but I digress. I have repeatedly called Omega Prime the embodiment of the Matrix due to the circumstances around his creation and his component parts. Primal Prime literally is the embodiment of the Matrix of leadership.
So, it looks like... looks like Robocop's voice actor is the only one they managed to get back for this game. Because,
Sad, but not surprising.
Yeah, because most of them are most of them are already dead. Like the original, the actor that played Sergeant Reed, the guy that played the old man. I don't know about the news reporter Casey Edwards, but
We cannot go this way. We would need a warrant.
It seems like
those stupid directives are still holding you back.
seems like Murphy was the only one that
Go
got
ahead,
back.
partner. Oh, the stench.
So,
Someone
continuing
missed
my train of
training.
thought here, to build myself up here, I have often claimed Omega Prime to be the embodiment of the Matrix of leadership due to, you know, the circumstances around the RID, Optimus, and Magnus, them sharing the Matrix and all. Primal Prime from the Beast Machines,
If Sid is such a great
you know, section
performer,
of the
shouldn't
Beast
there
era,
be a big line in
literally is
Regardless of his
the Matrix of
vulnerability,
leadership
I
given
still
a body.
want to see him sing.
Ooh.
A pair of Vok had gone to the Earth in the aftermath of the Nemesis 2-parter. Found the weird exosuit thing that had Tarantulas and Quickstrike had used to control Optimal Optimus's body,
Here's something.
and
Maybe your informant
used that alongside the energies of the Matrix hidden underneath Optimus Prime's spark, which that was how they explained the animation goof in the season 2/3 bridge of
definitely
Beast
hear
Wars.
Some commotion on the other side. Let's have a look, shall we?
To turn effectively the energies of the Matrix into a solid being.
Justice never sleeps.
And thus, Primal Prime. Who physically was a recolor of the Optimal Optimus toy in standard Optimus Prime Red and Blue, which looked really good. Let me see if I can find it for you. Well, I found a shot of him from the comics, so I suppose that will have to do. That was the wrong button, you goofball. Here he is. In the voice chat.
Oh, I've seen this guy before.
Right? Like I said, the Optimus Prime colors look almost better on him than the original Optimal Optimus colors, at least in my own opinion. was like the Rock using the transmetal driver, the energies of the Matrix, and that control suit to make this thing. They'd eventually have to give the physical Matrix back to Optimus and the Rock himself in its place. I could only imagine what voice they would have gotten for him in a freaking script reading.
I can smell some burnt electrics.
Peter Cullen doing a Gary Chalk impersonation.
I can imagine that. That'd be funny. Since we kind of already got the reverse in season 3 episode, like the first batch of season 3 episodes, particularly while he still had Optimus Prime's spark resting inside of him, Optimus, Gary Chalk just kind of started doing a Peter Cullen impression at times. After giving back the spark, he'd gradually revert back to his original Optimus Primal voice.
That's actually kind of interesting.
And I will mention right now, if I do end up tracking down an original Optimus figure, I'm gonna make sure it's this deco. Personal preference reasons. Primal Prime was going to have a Titanium series thing.
You're okay there, Murphy?
But
Behind you!
it never happened. They got to the prototype stage, but it never released.
Up you get, big man. They're closing in on us.
I'm invincible!
Primal Prime really takes the whole amalgamated Matrix Bearers thing to heart. In one of the comics, he borrows poses from both Optimus Prime, his main event thief in the comic End of the Road, and Ultra Magnus, his dramatic point in the Transformers the movie. Also, the apocalypse that Primal Prime foresees in Primeval Dawn Part 2 is, in fact, the Universe War. He says it will all be his fault, and that's technically true. The Wrecker's failure to stop Cryotech from obtaining the Divine Light resulted in Primus' powers being online long enough to attract the attention of Unicron. There's a shot of him transforming from the comic. There's the aforementioned event point. And here's the actual toy. And now that I've gotten that firmly out of my system, back to Robocop. Okay, so
Yes.
gang stash discovered. I was about to mention how it looked like you could scan that instead of shooting it, but I was double checking memory to see if that actually meant you were able to scan it, or if that was your bullets will reflect highlight. I love using these things.
Oh, yeah.
I need to enter scanning mode to try to highlight them. Makes me miss VATS. Like, if New Vegas wasn't possessed by some unholy beast, I would have suggested playing that. Hopefully, that was the last of them.
It's not.
Okay, who rated the Predator's cloaking tech?
I'm invincible! It's gonna go.
The little trick I've learned with the Goomers is that if you shoot the gas canister they're carrying, it will explode and take them with it.
Problem is trying to.
The problem is hitting it. In my case, I have the additional problem of having to train myself away from my instincts with the super mutant suiciders in Fallout 4. Because I want the mini nuke they're carrying, I shoot the super mutants in the head to put them down quickly. With these guys, I want to shoot the explosive.
Let's split up. You clear this floor. I'll check upstairs.
Lewis, wait!
Don't worry, partner. We'll stay in contact.
This is also kind of half reinforced by my experience of shooting grenade grunts in Halo. Because they're carrying 2 plasma grenades, I am not going to be hitting those tiny little grenades in their hands while they're charging at me. So I aim for the head.
Makes sense.
I'm not even sure it's possible to shoot the grenades. Because, like, sometimes you'll be able to shoot the grenades and cause them to explode in Halo games, sometimes you can't.
Hear music. We're getting close.
Speaking of which, there's whispers and rumbles of a potential Combat Evolved remake being
I've got eyes on the stage.
in production, and moreover, becoming available on PlayStation if the rumors are to be believed.
This music
Nothing has
is
been
right
officially
now.
announced.
Is that the point?
I
Supposed to make you mad?
don't know if I believe that, because PlayStation?
Halo has been exclusive to Xbox since the original's launch.
Exactly.
It was a launch title for the original Xbox. They put it on that console specifically for that launch.
So, like, hearing them say, "Oh, it's gonna be a PlayStation," thing, I don't want to believe that.
I have mixed opinions on this. On the one hand, it gives me an excuse to only focus on one console for the foreseeable future, but on the other hand, it just feels wrong.
It's like that Mario.
And the thing is, this is not the first time that Halo has nearly migrated to something that wasn't, Xbox or PC. Supposedly, there was a Halo game developed for the Nintendo DS that got scrapped in production.
Now the real show is about to
I say supposedly because it sounds too bullshit to be true in my own
Shoot
opinion.
that motherfucking tin can till it fucking rattles. And I'll take this opportunity to moisturize these golden vocal cords. Let's stay right there, everybody.
I did that the first time too.
I can handle things here. You go after him.
Naturally, when I first brought up the potential of this remake to you and Red, when I first heard about it a few months back, Red was all in favor of it releasing on PlayStation, though for a much more innocent reason. He legit just wanted another option for a game to play with us.
Can't let him get to me. I'm a fucking celebrity.
I wouldn't mind playing Halo with you.
So, fun fact, folks, my original idea for a birthday game would have been to play Halo, any given Halo game in the MCC, the Master Chief Collection, with Bear in co-op for that day.
I can still do this. I can still.
Unfortunately, due to whose circumstances surrounding what we'd have to do in order to make that happen, we decided it was too much trouble.
Let us talk.
Stay the fuck away. You can't touch me. I do business with the new guy.
You seem to know a
What's
lot
funny is that if
about
you actually pick up
You're not getting anything out of me.
pick up Soot here
You know
like
how
you
many
would
cops
any
I've
other
killed?
criminal, he
I
will
ain't
comment on the
scared of
grip
you.
you've got.
Besides, I'm pumped up with nuke like a freaking power plant.
Of course,
Then
picking him up and
get
throwing
ready
him
for a
will not
meltdown.
actually damage him.
If you think you're gonna get... That's quite a grip you got there.
But there's plenty of things you could throw him
That's supposed
into.
to scare me. Not a single scratch.
Like, say, his guitars.
I don't think I can do that anymore.
Knock yourself out. That's not even mine. Hey, that stuff doesn't come cheap. No! That was the only thing in my collection that I didn't steal. I freaking hate you!
I love the effect of, like, hitting spray bottles.
I'll never rest until every pig in Detroit is dead.
There's a safe back here that you could crack if we had the right skills, but I don't think we do at the moment.
Screw you, bastard! That is not—
We don't need to crack it.
Did we literally just get the code?
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
Famous person. That's enough.
Oh,
I'll talk.
Well, you can still get it before you
Lewis,
carry him
I have
out.
Soot. He is ready to give me his statement about the new guy.
Wouldn't you rather hear it from the man himself?
Where is Officer Lewis?
She's outside.
Just don't immediately pick him up,
We're having
Right.
a nice
if possible.
officer chat. Why don't you take my rising star and join us so we can exchange partners?
Hey, what the hell are you doing now?
Nope, you've already got
The
him.
new guy
Oh well.
is here. You are coming with me.
You know my birthday? I don't remember getting a gift from you. That's not nice.
Okay, that's a neat little quip I've never heard from him before.
Can you even feel the fear? Because you should be crapping in your pants right now. You have stepped into a big freaking mess.
Cleaning up the town mess is what I do.
That was an awesome concert. If it wasn't for you, they would have never have guessed it was all on playback. I need some fluke. I take nuke, nuke, nuke. Everywhere I look, I see nuke, nuke. My left hip is getting a bit numb. Can we swap sides?
Uh-oh.
Oh, not again.
What are we stopping for? Huh? Is your battery drained or something?
Now, me and your partner here are growing impatient. Why don't you hurry up?
This way. Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Piggy scared of a meat hook?
Oh boy, that was disturbing. Almost as disturbing as what we're gonna
Lewis.
find out they're doing
All
with
right,
these
Murphy.
people's brains.
Drop your weapon. You are under arrest.
I don't think you're reading this situation correctly.
Thanks for the ride.
I hear they're making a giant souffle.
It's the new guy in town. Welcome to Detroit. I assume you've seen our little TV spot. Short and sweet. You know the first rule of show business and drug dealing, right? Leave them wanting more. That's lighter you got there.
Murphy?
Something wrong, cop.
Hey, so, I think it's time to get back to business.
You fucking idiot. Your stupid stunt put a spotlight on me. Oh, you want to talk business? Here's a free lesson. You never, ever fuck with the money. I don't think so.
Murphy, what's happening?
Now that we've got that out of the way,
I love how occasionally you'll see the camera of the game itself
my
glitch.
name is Wendell Antonowski. I believe you've met my brother before. My brother really did a number on you, didn't he? But thanks to him, you've been given this great opportunity.
What the fuck are you doing to him?
There are people who would do anything to be in your position, to have your abilities, and yet
I
you
always
attach
forget like
yourself
who
to
he's
something that is
supposed
the
who he is
weakest in you,
supposed to be the brother of.
that's still human.
Emil.
Imagine
member of
the pristine life you could lead
Clarence
without the
Potter's
things that
gang.
limit you.
Murphy,
one
don't
of the
let him
men
get inside your head.
Like her.
Killed Murphy.
No attachments, no leverage.
And
I admit, when
at
I
the end of
first
the
heard
movie,
that you were
a
the
bunch of
reason my
toxic waste was dumped
idiot
on him, and
brother
he
was dead.
turned into a melting
I was furious.
mutant that Clarence accidentally ran into, and it exploded like a water balloon.
But then I got to thinking, why would I let anyone have such power over me? So I let it go. And now, I'm here to help you do the same. This is not an act of revenge. This is a gift.
Fuck you, scumbag!
Lewis!
He shot her in the boob.
More importantly, on the right side
Another
instead of the
fucking
left.
glitch. What a shit show.
That shot could still be lethal,
Switch him
but
back
there's
on
a better chance of survival.
Yeah.
Lewis!
Whoa, Robo. Calm down. He'll tear the equipment apart.
Wendell Antonowski ran away and Lewis is in the hospital. What did you do? Just stand there and watch it as it happened?
I want to see her.
She's in surgery as we speak, so that's not gonna happen. Instead, you're gonna go through with your psych evaluation.
Let me go!
The old man wasn't happy that I let you skip your first session and was adamant that I make sure you attend this one. Especially since the problem of you malfunctioning is obviously persistent. So, Doctor, do your thing.
What? Now? He's in no shape to be examined.
I'm afraid that I must insist.
This is highly unprofessional.
I need to apprehend Wendell.
I don't think you understand your options, Shiny. In that you don't have any. You either comply, or you'll be dismantled. I'm only really rooting for one of these options.
Very well.
Doctor?
If this is supposed to resemble a therapy session in any way, I need everyone that isn't my client to leave. That is not negotiable. And is it necessary to have him restrained?
That's for your safety. What if he loses control? Exactly.
If anything goes wrong, just use this reset button. One press, and he goes back to La La Land.
Okay, let's leave the good doctor to work. And Robo, see me after this is over.
I'm sorry it has to look like this. Are you at least sitting comfortably enough to have this conversation?
Hey, Wendell, not Wendell, that's the guy we're going to be taking down.
Yeah.
Hey, Becker, guess how many fingers I'm holding up? I'll give you a limited option.
My partner was shot, and I need to find the person responsible.
You do. But I think you'll agree that you should be in the best shape possible to undertake that task. I understand this is not an ideal situation, and this is probably the last place you want to be right now.
I'm not the only one unwilling to be here. Your heart rate is above 120 BPM.
You're equipped with a heart rate monitor?
I'll be right back.
Handy in your line of work.
It does.
I agree this whole thing is happening rather fast, but we are both professionals at helping others. So how about we start again? My name is Dr. Olivia Blanche. Naturally, I've heard people refer to you by different names, but I'm curious to hear which one you prefer.
My name is Alex Murphy.
Then I'll call you Alex Murphy. I've worked with many police officers that have gone through traumatic experiences, but I think we can both agree that you are no ordinary police officer. How do you see your situation?
I'm a police officer who was killed in the line of duty. I was given a second chance and resurrected inside this metal shell.
Clinical death and waking up in a body that is not quite yours is a first for me too. In a patient, that is. But that's something that I've already learned from the reports. What I would much rather hear is how do you perceive yourself?
Perceive?
Yes. See, what I found immensely helpful in working with my patients is transparency. In order to help each other, we need to be able to see each other fully.
This is how I see myself.
Thank you for making this step.
Now that you see me the way I am, do you wish to push the reset button? Your heart rate remains high.
No. Not at all. It's actually my secret that is making me nervous, not yours. You're not the only one here with prosthetic body parts. This hand, you must have wondered what happened. Some time ago, I was a victim of a crime. A thief broke into my house. He made a lot of noise and my neighbors called the police. And Ed 209 reacted to the call and mistakenly recognized me as a threat. My hand was red mist moments later. Since that day, I have become, let's say, a little leery of machines.
Do you fear me?
I fear the unpredictability that machines bring with them. So when I heard there was a chance to contribute to the research on the stability of OCP's mechanical units, I jumped at the opportunity. I hope you don't find it unprofessional. Getting that off my chest made me feel a bit better. How about you check my pulse now?
It has dropped below 120 BPM.
You see, I don't just impose things onto my clients.
And I'm back.
Welcome back. To work. I think that makes for a very promising start. Thank you, Alex Murphy.
So we had our first therapy session, and I was as nice as possible to the good doctor here.
Naturally.
All done. Robo, there's something I need to show you. I know that OCP can be a real pain in the ass, but this might change your mind a bit. We've been working behind the scenes on giving your sidearm the treatment it deserves. The Auto 9 can now be equipped with a motherboard. Once the motherboard is in, you'll be able to mount a number of processors on it. Each processor can vastly improve your aim, damage, or stability. See for yourself.
All right. I don't like that penalty.
Sometimes they're unavoidable.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on, well, there's no way to get to that 50% thingy without going through the penalty. Mm.
There we go.
Be on the lookout. There's OCP tech in everything. You wouldn't believe how many useful processors can be salvaged from old devices. Okay, that's it from me. Becker wants to see you.
And
He's
hey,
taken over Reed's
you
office.
now have full
Say
auto
what you want
fire
about
as
the
one of
man.
your options.
That takes guts.
Any news on Luis? Not yet, but she's been through worse.
Might I recommend heading to the shooting range
You know
to
you're
test it
right.
out
You
first?
should stay strong and focused, just like her.
First, let's see who's in the slammer. Jerry Jenkins, the arcade owner.
Hey, Pig, it's a private party.
Can you believe I don't even know who that guy is. Or this guy.
Probably a pair of other mooks.
Let's see. Ramirez beat my score. So let's see if I can beat Ramirez's score.
At a whopping 89, it looked like. Well, you've already beaten it.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Always a good idea to test out at the shooting range when you upgrade your weapon.
Hey, Murphy, do you have a minute?
I think IRL is also a part of periodic weapon maintenance when it comes to
Me and
organizations
a
like
bunch of
this.
guys decided to sign this get well card for her. I figured that you'd want to sign it as well.
A get well card.
Yeah, I know it's just that we want to let her know we're with her.
I would like to sign it.
Thanks, Murphy. I knew you'd understand. Actually, there are a few signatures that we still need. Could you ask them? I think I need a break. To start, Kowalski is hiding somewhere in the lobby.
Understood.
Tell telling you, Magnavolt commercials are not kidding when they say lethal response.
What do you mean?
Oh, I didn't see you there, Murphy.
What are you doing here, officer?
Nothing much, just trying to collect my thoughts.
Would you sign the get well card for Lewis? I am supposed to get it signed and then pass it on to another officer.
Yeah, sure thing. That's a great idea. There you go. Signed. But could you pass it along to another officer? I think I'd like to stay here for a little bit longer.
Understandable. Take your time.
I'm not gonna
Thanks,
tell him
Murphy.
no crying. 'Cause,
Kurtz hasn't signed
like,
it yet. He was in the locker room last time.
Oh, yeah, insensitive asshole. Who's is that?
People who think men shouldn't cry.
Again, insensitive a-holes.
My heat signature recognizes that the water is cold. Is everything all right, Officer Kurtz?
Oh, you talking to me? Yeah, I guess I stayed here longer than I anticipated.
I have a card to sign. It is for Lewis.
I'd love to sign it, but I don't want to get it wet. Could you grab my towel for me? Yellow one. It should be by my locker.
Okay.
I love how Robocop sounds kind of quiet.
He's got a lot on his mind right now. It's a little something I've enjoyed about how the dynamics that the characters have here.
There you go.
You can tell that
give me a
facing death on a daily basis has made these people close.
Mm-hmm.
There, signed. I think that it's beautiful what you're doing.
You are shivering.
Yeah, I was lost in my thoughts. Didn't notice that I used up all the hot water.
Thinking about Lewis.
Yeah, but I can't imagine what you're thinking. She's your partner. Speaking of partner, I see that O'Neill hasn't signed the card yet. Be a good guy and get it to her, okay? She's at the range. She'll yell at me if she finds out there was a card for Lewis and she didn't get to sign it.
I will make sure that happens.
I see someone's already trying to break your record.
Also, I really do enjoy how the rest of the precinct treats Murphy. Because
it's like it's like there's no difference between him and, you know, before.
Yeah.
Shit.
Is everything all right?
I think my service weapon ain't calibrated right.
I could perform a check for you.
Yeah. Okay. Give it a go.
I guess that was just because you were just here and all, but I love the fact that it still had your high
I guess
score
you
on
don't
it.
have any problems with it.
Your service weapon is calibrated correctly.
Yeah, I guess so.
What is the matter?
I can't lie. I wanted to come here and blow off some steam, but my hands are shaking thinking about Lewis.
Officer.
It's just that if it happened to you, it could have happened to any one of us. Lewis is one tough cookie. She'll pull through, I'm sure of it. But I'm not so sure I could say the same thing about my partner. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make it about me.
It is difficult.
Is there anything I can do for you?
You can sign this get well card for Lewis.
Sure thing. There you go. Almost everyone's
And yeah, I
already
totally
here.
agree.
That says a lot about her impact on
the way
all
they
of us.
treat Murphy as if he was still fully human. Like there's been no actual change. It's nice. They still see the man under all the armor.
Granted, I'm sure it took some time for that. Because, I mean, like...
Undoubtedly.
In the first movie, they're pretty shocked.
Murphy,
about Robocop. And, of course, they treated him like a machine first.
I noticed you running around the precinct.
Considering this is basically Robocop 2.5 final mix.
I know. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I ride everywhere.
They've definitely
hard,
had
and they
some
probably
time to
see
get
me
used
as
to
a
him.
drill sergeant. Maybe they think that I do it because I don't care. But I do care for each and every one of you. And what I'm trying to say is that I'd like to sign that card, if you let me.
You are a part of
We are a family. You should sign it.
Everyone's here already. Lewis, she made
The family option is the one I pick every time, because that is just how I tend to view groups of people like this. People who stare down death and continue to do their job in spite of it every day. That's a family. Especially considering they continue to look out for each other in all of this.
Oh, yeah. There's anything over here. Get this new one, right?
Now, once you get to Sergeant Reed, that is the last of them.
I know, I was talking about, like, other side quests.
I think that was it for now.
I'm pretty sure that these guys are developers on the wanted posters.
What kind of way could you insert yourself more organically into this particular game?
And
missing posters, wanted posters.
Yeah, for the missing kid posters, some of these look like childhood photos for some of the developers. Others look like photos of their kids. So
there's also one other natural way to insert themselves into the game, and we're staring at it.
I remember, like, looking at these and trying to see if I could find the guy from Robocop 1. He's mentioned in a news report, and then not long after, when it cuts to the police station, Reed and another officer go over to his locker and remove his name tag, implying that he died at the hospital.
I'll be honest, when I first saw that, I tried looking for Murphy's picture, if it's even up there.
I honestly don't think it is.
And that's honestly what I was hoping for.
Because Murphy's got a distinctive face. Also, I love how this wanted poster is still up, even though the guy fucking turned himself in.
Just goes to show that they've been so busy they haven't had time to rip it off yet.
I just love the detail they put into the precinct.
You can tell this game was a labor of love.
And also, like, it's still not like 1-to-1 of the one from the original movie, but it's still pretty damn good. It's still pretty damn close, because it looks like this leads outside, but in the original movie, it leads to a hallway, and there's windows from here going all the way to here, and it leads over here, I think. It might lead to this door, actually, because I remember they used that to get it was when they first brought Robocop into the precinct. They led him into this room through a different entrance, I believe. But you could see him through the windows that were here along the wall, but those aren't here now. But it's fine, honestly. I know there's only so much detail you can put into an area. And I'm sure having it exactly like, oh shit, Cardman was here. Hi, Cardman. Robert Cop. And he redeemed a hydrate.
Crap, I'm gonna have to go and get more tea for that. Be right back. I have returned with more drink, and I have taken a sip.
Welcome back.
So, while we were talking, I happened to find a Energon Optimus Prime on eBay, used, but has basically everything except for the missile that goes into his blaster. All 4 drones, the gun, both chest windows, everything for the super mode helmet, the trailer itself, even the original box it came in. Just not that missile. And the seller wants $175 for it. And this is the one that has the mouth sculpted in.
Time to go talk to...
Thank you for this opportunity, Mr. Becker.
You are very determined. I must have seen your application like 20 times.
I assumed they were getting lost in the mail.
That didn't stop you, did it? You're persistent and capable, too. Highest marks on all the written tests. Pretty much an ideal candidate. Aside from the fact that you don't meet any of the physical requirements, that's actually remarkable. Short stuff.
Unfortunately, sir.
Why is being a cop so important to you?
My father was a police officer, and his father was one, too.
Police family, huh? It must be heartbreaking not to be able to continue a family tradition. You know, I have the power to look the other way and make you a cop despite your shortcomings. In exchange, I only ask for one thing. Your complete loyalty. And maybe a touch of gratitude as well.
Will I still get a badge?
Becker.
Like a proper police officer?
Badge? Oh yeah, sure.
Then Officer Washington is reporting for duty.
Good. There you go, young'un.
Is that blood?
We don't make a badge for every new officer. We just reassign the old ones after cops retire.
Or die.
Robocop. I'm a big fan.
Well, that's great, because you'll be spending a lot of time together.
Meaning?
The a-hole is being an a-hole because he's an a-hole?
Officer Washington will become
Why am I not surprised?
Overseer?
Yes, you will report to me on his every action. Hopefully that will prevent him from continuing to tarnish his already murky reputation.
Fuck do you mean tarnish?
His recent behavior casts a shadow on OCP, and we can't have that.
That's a lot of responsibility for a rookie.
Every other cop refused this post. But you won't. You wouldn't jeopardize your career, right?
No, sir.
I would like to proceed with my investigation, now that we know that the new guy is Wendell Antonowski.
Was he even listening to anything I've been saying? Absolutely fucking not. You're off the case. Actually, you're off all cases. There's a bunch of documents that need archiving in the records room. That's your priority now.
Understood.
Now go. I'll tell Achilles about what's what in this godforsaken place.
And I love he can never get his name
It's
right.
Ulysses, sir.
Hey, first rule, kiddo. Never question your superiors.
Also, I'm pretty sure Becker doesn't have that authority. But then again,
Hi, Murphy.
cops are under
I was told you'd come to help me.
So.
This is exciting. I don't get many visitors here.
What seems to be the problem?
Mr. Becker wants you to do some maintenance work, so, please scan the servers, see if they're operating properly. I'm sure they are, but he insisted I found a job here for you. Yeah, I wish I had something more exciting for you to do, since for me, this is where all the action happens.
Explain.
With this wealth of information at your fingertips, this records room should be a real hotbed of activity. Others don't seem to know how fun it is to dig through all this stuff. You can play a real-life detective here.
Officer Cecil, you are a detective.
Yeah, but mostly just a paper pusher.
So, if one wanted to find out the whereabouts of a particular criminal, what would one do?
That's easy. Just check the computer in the back. Type in who you're looking for and see if there are any matches. Just remember to scan the servers at some point. Mr. Becker will blow his top if I don't make sure you checked him.
Working perfectly. Good as new. Perfect working condition. I am detecting a malfunction.
Huh? Doesn't seem right.
This server is compromised.
Good thing you noticed it. It could lead to the loss of important data. I'll make sure Mr. Becker knows what a tremendous job you did here.
Pretty sure Mr. Becker doesn't give a shit.
I'm telling you, this is incredible. Just type in your search. He's never been charged? Well, that's hard to believe. There's a neat feature you can try. See who attempted to access his file before you did. Maybe that'll help us.
Officer Briggs.
Briggs? That must be the last lead that he checked before going missing. So his case led him to the Street Vultures territory? Maybe those two cases are connected after all. I'll have to report this to Sergeant Reed.
And I am on my way.
There's nothing I can say to stop you, is there?
No.
Well, then instead I'll say, go kick ass for Lewis.
We need to be on guard. OCP is trying to smuggle more of their staff into our ranks.
You're right. We can't trust them. God knows what sort of people they are.
Let's stay sharp and smoke them out.
These two are paranoid as hell. And we are at 2 hours and 13 minutes. Well, I guess that'll be it for today. Thank you all for watching. This has been Vegas Bear 92.
And Mekumon.
And there will be no stream tomorrow. Oh, sorry, Taro. There'll be no stream tomorrow because I'm taking that day off to get into a better headspace. And I'm also doing the same thing for Sunday. So, hopefully I'll feel better by Monday. Hopefully. Anyway, as usual, please feel free to support us in any way you wish.
Be it monetarily, YouTube subscription, or just plain engagement.
And as always, stay safe, stay comfy, stay hydrated, be good to each other, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.